คุณชนนาถนะเรดี้แล้วก็ทางคุณน้ำฝนด้วยนะครับจะถูกจะแพงสีแดงไว้ก่อนแต่ปัญหาเราเล่นทีมเยือนเราน่าจะได้ใส่สีขาวนะ ไม่น่าได้ใส่สีแดงเรามาดู11รายชื่อผู้เล่นตัวจริงกันหน่อยนะเดี๋ยว11รายชื่อผู้เล่นตัวจริงครับในช่วง3 ทุ่มเองเนี่ยเวสต์แฮมเจอแมนเชสเตอร์ยูไนเต็ดของทางเวสต์แฮมเองปัญหาผู้เล่นอาการ
ข้าวเกรียบกุ้งคาวีข้าวเกรียบกุ้งคาวี
going in the box and getting what I'm paid to do is score goals. So they get themselves in the box. They commit so many numbers that this drags down the line of Shakhtar in this example. And you see how deep they are. And they're really just defending these guys, and they never really see the real danger, which is Martinelli on the ball here. This run from Calafiori, the overlapping run, sucks out the defender. And at the end of this going in the box and getting what I'm paid to do is shirts inside the box. Quite easily, right? It was pretty simple. It was one pass that broke the line, one pass wide, and then 7 guys in the box. You're going to score a lot of goals that way.
Yeah, good stuff, Grell.
I actually felt smarter after hearing you. That's nice.
Did you?
You sure?
I did. I learned something today.
That's
Thanks,
Grell. That's the best compliment he's had. Just before we do get you out to the 3:45 kickoffs, let's just do a quick note on Newcastle, Chelsea. Chelsea are on the road at St James's Park, and it hasn't looked good, has it, Jimmy, for your Newcastle lately?
No, it hasn't, and they lost this
and they're really just
against Chelsea on the weekend at Stamford Bridge, 2-1. It was 1-1 for a time, but it looked like I did. I learned something today. Thanks, Grell. Thoughtful from a Newcastle perspective of managing Cole Palmer or anybody. If Cole Palmer doesn't start, and I haven't seen the starting 11, so I apologize for that, but can he find those pockets of space? Can they eliminate those pockets of space? Because Chelsea, I think, under Enzo Maresca, have been very good in transition. And Newcastle, I don't know if have been taking as much of their opportunities when they could. And I know they have some injuries, but I've been disappointed with them this season. A little uneven, all things considered.
You can eliminate the space for Cole Palmer, but he's a special talent. He's the type of talent that Grell and I go on so much about wanting to see. Those creative players, those not players that are overly coached. I mean, that pass he did on the weekend against Newcastle anyway just shows the talent that he has from that deep. Cole Palmer, absolute sensational talent. For me, these two teams are two of the teams that I feel need to win this competition. When it comes to pressure on, Newcastle and Chelsea have to somehow come up and win this competition because of the stakes the clubs they're at.
Well, there is Cole Palmer. He doesn't start tonight, but he is available off the bench. We're going to get you out to the grounds for our 3:45 matches on Paramount Plus in just a moment. And our pre-match coverage, though, of the big one from London, Tottenham and Manchester City is going to continue right here. We'll see you in just a second.
To impress the hierarchy. That's the celebration you used to see when he scored 150 goals for Manchester United. the latest favourite to take over the club. Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a go at it. Ryan Giggs was an interim manager as well. We're not had a go at it. Ryan Giggs was an interim manager as well. We're not sure how long Ruud van Nistelrooy has in charge, but he certainly looks the part and has spoken with authority as well. He says taking over the team, he has mixed emotions. It's something he's always dreamed of, but of course he is replacing his big pal who brought him to the club only 14 games ago. Well, Ruud van Nistelrooy doesn't have much room for team selection manoeuvre. He does make 4 changes of the 11 that started against West Ham. Rested Anana, Mazraoui, Eriksson and Højlund. Given a shot, Lindelof, Ugarte, Zirkzee and Olte Bayendir is the cup keeper. No signs of a revolutionary formation. That may well come with a new coach. In contrast, Steve Cooper has made mass changes. Only Caleb Okoli and James Justin remain from Friday night's defeat to Nottingham Forest. He's given the fringe players the glare of the Old Trafford spotlights. In contrast, Steve Cooper has made mass changes. Only Caleb Okoli and James Justin remain from Friday night's defeat to Nottingham Forest. He's given the fringe players the glare of the Old Trafford spotlights. Conor Cody starts only his second game of the season, skippers the side. Players to look out for tonight? For you, Courtney?
Yeah, I've gone for Marcus Rashford for Manchester United. In this competition, in his last 5 starts, he's scored in every one, so he will be looking to get on the score sheet tonight. It's an important night for him. He needs to be one of the leaders as one of the experienced players on the pitch. On the other side, I've gone for Casey McAteer. He's not had much of a chance this season. Had a really good start to the season last season, but it was blighted by injury. He's such a bright young player, so this start for him tonight will be really important to try and work himself back into the squad on a regular basis.
Well, an old favourite blaring out from the tannoy at Old Trafford, an old favourite in the dugout, taking over the reins in these uncertain times. The referee tonight is Andy Madley, who's in charge of the FA Cup final against Manchester City. And of course, he doesn't have VAR. We don't get to the semi-finals. How Erik ten Hag wished they didn't have VAR at the weekend against West Ham United. Well, I'm sure that Ruben Amorim is watching somewhere as the speculation grows over the replacement for Ten Hag. It looks as though it's going to be just a short spell for Ruud van Nistelrooy. But can the players in red, white and black emulate the man who goes down as one of the greats in the club's playing history? Hasn't made mass changes, just a tinkering with the team, but as a manager he'll want to impress tonight, just in case, won't he, Courtney?
Yeah, of course, you never know, and this might be one of one for him, so he'll want to go out with a 100% record, a good performance, and if you can say, you've gone and won 4-5-0, that would be ideal. And I think, he mentioned it before the game, didn't he? There's, in terms of the lack of numbers, so we can't tinker too much, but I think regardless, Manchester United still would have put out a strong side to make a statement at the moment.
Well, Ten Hag always pointed to winning the FA Cup and the League Cup in his 2 seasons in charge. And United hoping to make it to the quarter-finals, but Ruud van Nistelrooy, it's been a long road to become the manager of Manchester United. He actually started out as the assistant for the Netherlands national team. And then he had almost a season in charge of PSV Eindhoven. He actually resigned with a game to go. There's Lindelof alongside De Ligt tonight. He's at Lisandro Martinez, moves over to the left of the defence. And there's Casemiro. A lot of youngsters on the bench, but familiar faces in the starting 11 for United tonight.
we've spoken a lot about Manchester United, but I think it's worth obviously mentioning Leicester City coming into this. They've made the quarter-final, I think, the last 5 years, and not too far apart in the Premier League table. Had a tough start to the season, but have started to accrue points under Steve Cooper. So I want to come here tonight and make a big statement here at Old Trafford.
Absolutely, our apologies to Leicester fans as the focus has been on United from the start, but Steve Cooper was saying before the game that's just how he likes it. He's happy playing the part of underdogs after, of course, they were the bigger club in the previous 2 rounds against Tranmere Rovers and on penalties against Walsall last time around. It is a cup they like. They have won the League Cup in its various guises on 3 occasions and been beaten in 2 previous finals as well. It could be argued that they have the stronger pool of players.
And a lot of very good players on the bench, I agree. I think Leicester City have got the stronger bench, and Facundo Buonanotte is the main one that sticks out to me. I think he's been absolutely brilliant this season. So the fact that they can rest him probably shows that the strength and depth they feel they have at the moment.
As to be expected, it's Manchester United setting the tone of the game. Which part of Marcus Rashford are we going to see tonight? Scored, as you said, 5 goals in 6 games against Leicester, 10 goals in his last 9 starts in this particular competition, including a couple against Barnsley earlier in the season. Ayew. Marcanis. Leicester settling into their surroundings. Sumare. Okole to Connor Cody. Thomas. Connor Cody. Thomas. Leicester did win their last away game. They went to Southampton. You may remember they turned it around 2-0 down to spectacularly win by 3 goals to 2. Decordova-Reid, was he manhandled? He was starting at the beginning of the season, Decordova-Reid. Came on a free transfer from Fulham, but has struggled to get into the starting 11. Steve Cooper is finally winning over the Leicester supporters.
It's taken a while. I think when you take the trip down from the A46 down from Nottingham, there'll always be a bit of a raised eyebrow, but as you mentioned now, he is turning it round and going back to Decordova-Reid. I think when you've got Mavididi and obviously Fatawu in the squad who have been playing very well in those wide areas, it's been very hard for Decordova-Reid to break through to the starting 11.
Zirkzee gives the ball away. Connor Cody misses out the midfield. El Khanous on that far side of the field. They have been playing, of course, with Jamie Vardy at the head of an attacking diamond, but maybe a slightly different shape for Leicester tonight.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned obviously Jamie Vardy, and it's important they can try and rest him where possible. El Khanous as well, as I mentioned. Buonanotte's been fantastic, so playing time for El Khanous has been somewhat limited. It's an important night for him tonight to show what he's about.
There's Bayindir, who Van Nistelrooy said he was sticking with as the cup keeper, and no, it's a slip in that. Zirkzee is away. Does he go solo? Drops the shoulder and maybe just lack that little bit of confidence. Garnacho just gives him the stare.
I think Bruno Fernandes wasn't overly happy as well. There was a couple over that side to his left that probably were in a better position.
One thing that Ruud van Nistelrooy will have to work on, he won't have much time on the training ground, but behind the scenes is the team togetherness. Quite often you find that the players are as clueless as the supporters when it comes to what is happening in the hierarchy of clubs. Rashford puts a bit of spin on it. It's the first corner of the evening for Manchester United.
You mentioned him saying that, Van Nistelrooy. I thought it was really interesting talking about that fight, that togetherness, and I do think it's something that's very much been lacking from Manchester United, so we'll certainly be looking to be able to bring that togetherness again.
Fernandes. Rashford tried to thread it through back to Fernandes, but Leicester trying to escape at speed. Ayew, dangerous pull back. Skip.
I think Ayew's actually been a really clever signing for Leicester. I think initially maybe a few raised eyebrows, but you think about the experience he's got in the Premier League. He's already popped up with a few important goals, and he works ever so hard for the team as well.
He's got a spectacular goal against Tranmere Rovers in Leicester's first game in this competition. You can say he's a veteran striker, but he's considerably younger than Jamie Vardy. There's Lindelof. Dalot, who had that. There's Lindelof. Dalot, who had that big miss at the weekend against West Ham United. But Dalot is a constant in the United team this season. He started every game in every competition. It's a bit of a rarity. Martinez.
He's not a young kid anymore. He's been around for so long, obviously broke onto the scene as such a young player, but he's got a big responsibility now with this squad that he needs to take on his shoulders, obviously coming up through the academy as well. So in terms of those values, again, that Ruud van Nistelrooy was speaking about before the game, he needs to embody them and really step up.
Xerxes coming and looking for the ball, as to be expected. Manchester United bossing it in the opening 10 minutes or so of the game. Decordova-Reid. Good defending from Matthijs de Ligt. One of the many.
It's interesting how that will look going forward as well, when you say there's so much of an imprint now with Ten Hag and what he wanted, and how's Amorim going to deal with that?
Casemiro. One of the issues of the PSR is that United are spending a lot of the money bringing in a new coach and his coaching staff and paying off the previous coach, so there may not be a big purse of money to dip into in the winter transfer window. To be revolutionary tactics rather than revolutionary signings.
Yeah, but you think about the signings and the money spent, they've still not worked. So it's about, I think, bringing a feeling back into this football club, a way of playing it, being determined and aggressive on the ball that has been lacking for quite a while now at Manchester United.
Soumare, little teaser on the blind side of Dalot. It's lazy from Dalot, and McAteer is onto it very quickly.
Really gets away with one there, Dalot. As you said, he's actually one of the more consistent performers for Manchester United, but not sure what he's thinking there. It's very lazy, and McAteer can't quite profit from it.
Well, an opportunity for a number of the fringe players to impress Steve Cooper. He'll be wise to the squad that he's inherited, and they made a bundle of signings in the summer as well. Of course, the team have done well in the League Cup. It tends to have a settled side when it comes to the Premier League. He's always a manager had an open mind. He needed to when he's at Nottingham Forest with the squad that they had there.
Yeah, and I think they've been astute with their signings, really, the loans they've brought in as well, and in terms of that money that they've used from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, that sale, I think they've used it quite well. They've got depth in the squad, and just looking at the subs bench as well, young Will Alves is on the bench. He's come through the academy, had a horrendous ACL injury against Wolverhampton, playing for the underages, so it's good to see him back on the bench.
Casemiro driving through midfield, but he was tackled fairly in the eyes of the referee by Ollie Skip. O'Corley looking wide for Justin, the two players who remain from the weekend. Only two survive from Friday night football against Nottingham Forest. Luke Thomas. For some of these players making progress in the Cup, and maybe the FA Cup when it comes around in January is their best chance of getting regular football.
Yeah, it might be, as you mentioned, because Steve Cooper and the Premier League likes a settled team, doesn't like to change it too much, and it's good for when you play in that consistency, but when you're not in the squad, minutes are few and far between, and you've got to take your opportunities when they come.
Danny Ward clears the ball. He's anticipating a busier night than this. Casemiro to Martinez. Now Garnacho. Fernandes, little step over. Casemiro, shooters the demand. Oh, did he shoot? Van Nistelrooy celebrating like he scored it himself, and he would have been very proud of that one. Brilliant from the Brazilian. That has lifted the mood around Old Trafford.
Well, there's a lot to like about this goal. First, in terms of the run from Garnacho down that left-hand side, makes it early, it's deliberate, and it's the run that makes the ball at times. And
Van Nistelrooy celebrating like he scored it himself, and he would have been very proud of that one. Brilliant from the Brazilian. That has lifted the mood around Old Trafford.
Well, there's a lot to like about this goal. First, in terms of the run from Garnacho down that left-hand side, makes it early, it's deliberate, and it's the run that makes the ball at times. And he does well, he keeps the ball. There's a little dummy in here as well. I think the ball initially goes into, or it's looking for Fernandes, and there must be a shout because he leaves it for Casemiro there. And this is a wonderful finish. Casemiro, a player that's come for a lot of stick from the Manchester United fans, but there's one way to get back into the hearts, and it's doing that, popping one in right in the top bins. It's a wonderful finish, and Leicester haven't done too much wrong, but they find themselves 1-0 down because that is a wonderful finish.
An open invitation, gleefully accepted. Casemiro's second goal in successive games. It's good to see a Manchester United manager expressing himself and enjoying the job on the touchlines. Right, how do Leicester react to that? It was soft defending. Can they up their game? This is Dalot.
I think they'll be really disappointed because, as I mentioned, not done too much wrong, but you can't leave a player like Casemiro in that much space around the edge of the box. The defending wasn't quick enough, it wasn't aggressive enough.
Martinez. Good defending from Justin. Zirkzee tries to get that. This is better from Manchester United. Rashford flies it across the face of goal. Garnacho hangs it in the air, and Ward will be happy to just slow down the heartbeat of the game.
I think Garnacho's trying to do the right thing though in terms of heading it back across the box to find a teammate, but you see there's just a bit of an injection of pace now for Manchester United. They've got that goal, the Old Trafford crowd are behind them now, and it's unfortunate for Garnacho that he can't find Zirkzee, but in terms of winning the ball back on the edge of the box and that injection of pace, you can tell the goals lifted them.
There is Casemiro. Will certainly bring leadership to the midfield. He's been a winner all of his career. A bit of a foreign feeling when signing for Manchester United, but he has got 2 medals from his previous 2 seasons. In the autumn years of his career, 32 years of age. And they've got him on contract for another 2.
Yeah, well, when you think Jamie Vardy's still running about at his age, he's got a long way to go yet, Casemiro. He's got quite a few years left in him.
Ward comes a long way out. Good stretch, does well to keep it in play here. McAteer. Well, he knew what he wanted to do, but he wasn't able to pull it off.
He's tried that ball, hasn't he? The little one with the outside of the foot, got it completely wrong.
Slightly concerning there for Casey McAteer, who did start against Tranmere, came on against Walsall, but he's only played in one of the last 7 games. He seems to have injured himself.
Yeah, I think he almost runs into Casemiro there and trips, but you say it's worrying. He spent a lot of last season out injured, I think 3 different periods of injury, so really halted the good start to the season that he had.
It's amazing how many players have run into Casemiro over the years, isn't it? Elite lets it run back. Onana isn't in the matchday squad today, but it didn't stop him joining in. Andre Onana was out there. They always like a goalkeeper to fly the ball past as they're practicing their shooting before the game, and he was more than willing to become that sparring partner. The referee felt that was a foul on Fernandes. As you can see, the Leicester defender looks completely shocked at the decision, and even more shocked that it warrants a yellow card for Okoli. Who, me?
I'm surprised as him, to be honest. They didn't look too much in that. Yeah, I mean, there's a tug of the shirt. Fernandes certainly makes the most of it. There's no surprise there. Does it warrant a yellow card? I'm not too sure. I think as you do that as a referee, you set your stall out very early.
You've certainly got a full handful of the number 8 shirt of Manchester United.
There.
The trigger reaction, of course, as a Premier League assistant referee is to let things flow, let play develop. But in the League Cup, they don't have the luxury, if you can call it that, of the VAR team, so they've got to raise the flag when they think it's offside.
Yeah, and I do think Garnacho went early. I think Connor Cody was the furthest defender back, but I think just strayed half a yard off him.
Thomas. Here's Ayew. Shakes off 3 Manchester United players. Ugarte chasing him down and catching him. Andy Madley, I think, was willing to let things roll on then, but he caught Ayew in full flight and it hurt.
Yeah, Declan Overeed down that right-hand side was away. But the referee using his instinct there to stop the game for a free kick.
Ugarte came in from Paris Saint-Germain, but he did spend some time at Sporting of Lisbon. Maybe a potential manager that knows of his talents firsthand. Bilal El Kanous stands over the ball, gives it one little bounce, which will be a signal to the boys in blue on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area. It means it's going to be floated towards Conor Cody. It's the lesser-spotted Victor Lindelof in the central defence. He hasn't played, well, didn't play, should I say, in 10 games. Only started one match this season. That was against Fenerbahce. Thomas looking for movement. Xerxes. I don't think he's made a pass to one of his teammates yet. Cordova-Reid doesn't get that.
Really struggled to get into the game, Xerxes. And as you say, even when he's then dropping in and trying to get on the ball, his passes are loose, and you've got to make sure when you're playing that number 9 role, when the ball comes into you, it's got to stick. You've got to keep hold of it or find a teammate, and so far for him, he's done neither.
Bayinda misses out the midfield, but it's not a good pass from the keeper. Martinez, Fernandez, Casemiro. When you say these names in the same sentence, you realise the talent that they do have at Old Trafford, and just why 14th place, only 7 points above the relegation zone, required a change of direction. Garnacho, Rashford, bit of freestyling between the two of them. Rashford's onside, but the pass isn't good enough, and Justin intercepts, clears his lines.
Garnacho will be really disappointed with himself. It's a good little passage of play. Rashford does really well to keep himself onside, but the weight of pass wasn't good enough. The weight of pass wasn't good enough.
Both sides have had a couple of shots in the opening quarter of this game. One on target each, but the one that counted, of course, is the Casemiro, which flew past the ears of Danny Ward. Cody. Lovely touch from Cordova-Reid. Well, it did look there as though Dalot was keeping the Leicester players on side. The furthest man forward there was James Justin.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I think you've got to take that ball and think later as James Justin, because Dalot was certainly looked like he was playing him onside.
We have the power of replays.
Ooh, very, very close. I think he might have just strayed offside, but I think that's where maybe you want a more forward-thinking player, because if he bends his run there, it's clean through, and it just shows again that back line of Manchester United at times can be at 6s and 7s, and would have been easy to exploit there. Got to take that ball and think later as James Justin, because Dalot was certainly looked like he was playing him onside.
We have the power of replays.
Ooh, very, very close. I think he might have just strayed offside, but I think that's where maybe you want a more forward-thinking player, because if he bends his run there, it's clean through, and it just shows again that back line of Manchester United at times can be at 6s and 7s, and would have been easy to exploit there if the run was right.
Ugarte playing alongside Casemiro. Many thought that he'd come in to replace Casemiro in the summer, the Uruguayan international. He made the team of the tournament at the Copa America the last edition. It's a clever turn here from Dalot, puts in the early ball, chance for a second, superb second! Garnacho on the sharp end of a superb Manchester United move. Ruud van Nistelrooy is having a ball.
It's a wonderful finish, but the ball for me is incredible. As a forward player, this is what you want, an early ball into the space behind the back line that you can run onto, and don't get me wrong, there is a lot to do with this finish, but we know what a talented player Garnacho is. Dalot does ever so well, lets the ball bounce across him so he can get it at his feet and put it across first time. Good little dink in as well from Casemiro. And what about this for a finish? He knows he has to go high with it to beat Ward. You see a lot of players there. Hit that, flies over the bar. Really good, accomplished finish from Garnacho.
Well, he's the baby of the team. He's only 20 years of age, but he's most certainly the star of the team. Leading scorer as well, his 6th of the season.
I couldn't agree more. He's been one of the most consistent performers in the last few months, last season as well.
Well, Steve Cooper is very angry on the touchline. It appears that the officials, but his defence seemed to go AWOL then.
Yeah, I think he's asking for offside, potentially the ball into Dalot, I imagine.
There's certainly a huge gap in the Leicester defence to be exploited by Manchester United. Dalot couldn't believe his luck with the workspace that he had.
I must admit though, I did clock Dalot just look across to the right hand side when the ball went in.
Cody. There is Justin. A feature of the Leicester players, they're getting both of their full-backs forward, but that means that they're leaving it in a 2-on-2 situation at the back quite often.
That's the thing, and then when you think you've got the pace...
Oh, Cody has given it away. Fernandes passed on the responsibility, but it seemed the obvious thing to do was shoot himself.
Yeah, he's in two minds, and then when that ball does come across, it's got to be better. The weight of pass is terrible, quite frankly, and I think he's too busy thinking what to do rather than making a decision early.
29 goals in the previous 2 seasons. It's not off the mark yet this year, Bruno Fernandes.
I probably think when he's confident, there's no doubt he takes that on. So as you say, the fact that he's not got off the mark this season, maybe second-guess the moment.
Xerxes. Casemiro caught in possession by Ayew. Nakatia. El Carnous. Yeah, I think he was thinking about the cross and then went for the shot. Well, he's still spitting feathers down on the shop floor, Steve Cooper.
Let's see if we can see Wine unpick this. So you can't see from that angle whether he's kept himself onside, Dalot, but no doubt about the finish, it's wonderful. Ruud van Nistelrooy, another one he'd have been proud of.
I just wonder if these United players have been watching old videos of Ruud van Nistelrooy, seeing who he was as a player. Forget how young they are, because they finished like him tonight.
I think he was an unbelievable forward when I was young, growing up, watching centre forwards that I wanted to try and emulate. Obviously, I got absolutely nowhere near it because he was world class, but one of the best finishers I think I've ever watched, and someone that talks very fondly about him is Paul Scholes and sort of the relationship they used to have on the pitch.
Heavy challenge by De Ligt. It's the second time that Ayew has been floored in this game. The referee is strolling over to the touchline. It's been a barrage of complaint from Steve Cooper since that second goal was scored.
It's hard, isn't it? Because you maybe look from the outside and say, you know what, you need to simmer down. There's no point. The referee's not going to change their mind. But when the emotion gets the better of you and you feel wronged, it's hard to pull that back.
I'm always surprised that he's so critical of officials, because his dad was... Ayo has been flawed in this game. The referee is strolling over to the touchline. It's been a barrage of complaint from Steve Cooper since that second goal was scored.
It's hard, isn't it? Because you maybe look from the outside and say, you know what, you need to simmer down. There's no point. The referee's not going to change their mind. But when the emotion gets the better of you and you feel wronged, it's hard to pull that back.
I'm always surprised that he's so critical of officials, because his dad was a top-class old First Division referee himself. Thomas looking for the far post. Here's Cody. Got all of the tall players in there, Leicester City. Goalkeeper Bayindir uncertain. Oh! Off the post, off both posts, and Leicester City are back in it. He's got a smile on his face now, as El Kanous was deadly accurate.
Well, it's a brilliant finish. That man there is very disappointed. Not too sure about the goalkeeping here. Didn't look overly confident for my liking, buying there, but take nothing away from this. In terms of, you see the technique, has to keep it low. Knee and hip over the ball. Bouncing ball as well, so difficult. Manchester United might think they're unlucky, the fact it comes off both posts. But either way, I don't think they defend it well enough. Such a dangerous position this, because it's central to the goal, unlike the first free kick that Rashford had. The only thing I would say is maybe slightly too close to get it up and over the wall.
He gave it away. He could become the human draft excluder.
The job that no footballer wants.
They've had a committee meeting, and it appears that it's going to be Bruno Fernandes. Sandro Martinez is a left-footed player, but it's Fernandes who goes through the wall. 3-1 Manchester United. It's a shower of goals at Old Trafford, and Fernandes is off the mark for the season. Things are changing around here.
Well, it's smiles all around. This one is a bit fortuitous, and this one is a bit fortuitous. Then you're thinking back to that challenge from El Kanous, putting his side in danger. Takes a massive deflection off James Justin. Completely changes the direction of the ball. Fernandes trying to wrap it in that top right-hand corner. Nothing that Danny Ward can do about that one.
Now, Bruno Fernandes is being given the goal inside the stadium. I don't think that James Justin is going to argue with him.
It was on target, wasn't it? I know it takes a massive deflection, but as you say, James Justin won't be arguing to take the own goal.
Mind you, Ward may say that he'd have saved it had he not taken the diversion on the way. Sumare. Sumare. Ugarte digging in. Xerxes steps out of the way. Can he join the goal-scoring party? Garnacho. Ward with an uncertain block as he was left completely exposed by his Leicester defence.
There's just red shirts flying forward. Garnacho gets the ball there, but Look at Marcus Rashford on the right. He's made a brilliant run off the back shoulder of Thomas. He's an acres of space. Every time they go forward, Manchester United, they look threatening. Bruno Fernandes as well wanted that one cut back. He was by the penalty spot looking for his second. He's got a taste for it now. He's got his first one.
He's always hungry for goals. Taken short and quickly. Xerxes in there, off the post, and Casemiro sweeps it in for his second. Blink tonight and you'll miss a goal. That man's always enjoyed celebrating a Manchester United goal. Casemiro's not on the score sheet too often. He's now looking for a hat-trick.
Well, the Manchester United fans wanted a reaction, and they've certainly got it. We can talk about the defending, but this is a reaction from these Manchester United players to want to go forward, to do it with purpose, to put the ball in the back of the net. You see here initially, comes off the woodwork, it's his initial header, Casemiro, but then he reacts. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He's not got his head in his hands because he's hit the woodwork. He's on his front foot, ready to put the rebound in. It's a good finish, by the way. I know it's only a few yards out. There's lots of players in front of him, so he knows he has to lift it. It's a really astute finish from a very experienced man. And there's the smile.
He's the fourth player to score a brace in the League Cup for Manchester United this season. They went goals crazy against Barnsley, you may remember, when they beat them 7-0 here. To that night for Rashford, Garnacho and Eriksen.
No disrespect to Barnsley, but obviously Leicester are a stiffer opposition. So the fact that they're scoring and playing the way they are against Leicester, it's a good omen to start the new tenure.
Xerxes, who did have a hand in that goal, to Rashford. Dalot makes a dart down this right-hand side. Manchester United can smell blood here. Absolutely no let-off for Leicester.
It's a cliche, isn't it? But it is. It's like the shackles are off for Manchester United, and actually players look like they're enjoying themselves. They've got a smile on their face, which we've not seen recently.
That was always the demand at Old Trafford. Flamboyant football. Attack, attack, attack. They sang at Ruud van Nistelrooy as he was signing autographs at the stadium earlier today. They can have no compassion here for Leicester. Leicester did come back, you may remember, against Southampton. 3 goals down. It may be a case of damage limitation. That did look like handball, because it was handball by Soumaré.
This is where the experienced players like Conor Cody in this squad have to make sure now they shut up shop Leicester until the end of this half. Don't concede again.
A confirmation of that yellow card for Steve Cooper. He'll have to bite his lip for the remaining, what have we got, 48 minutes of the evening, 49 minutes of the evening.
Good maths, better than mine.
Manchester United looking for their 5th goal before half-time. He could have had his hat-trick before half-time. He's doing his best impression of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Manchester United looking for their 5th goal before half-time. He could have had his hat-trick before half-time.
And got his hat-trick, but just nonchalant from Fernandes. Just dinks it into an area. Leicester defensive line isn't doing what it should be. He does the right thing, Casemiro, going across the goal, but it has to be in the back of the net.
Well, he gave a very upbeat interview before the game. He certainly looks the part as well. He has the fans on board. Maybe if Ruben Amorim doesn't act quickly, there might be a door opening for Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Interesting to see as well if Amorim is to come in, if Van Nistelrooy does stay on the staff and part of the club. I think it would be important if he did. Someone that knows the Manchester United way. Someone that knows the Manchester United way.
It does follow recent United legends. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, was a permanent manager. Ryan Giggs had 4 games in charge. Michael Carrick was unbeaten in his 3 games in charge. Ruud van Nistelrooy's team are going for a 5th here. It's Garnacho! Leicester just hoping to make it to half-time, so Steve Cooper can realign his team, because United are ripping them apart.
They're architects of their own downfall at the minute. Leicester giving the ball away, and then Manchester United pouncing on it. Garnacho does well to get the shot off quickly, because you see he's being closed down. It's on the bounce. That's what the manager's saying. I like it. Be positive. Yes, you've missed the target, but take the shot on.
Nobody dare leave their seat for the half-time cuppa just yet. Bayindir not feeling so bad about that Leicester goal now. Will disappear into the midst of time if United can keep this up. Zumare. Justin gives it away. Most of Leicester's issues are of their own making.
You can just tell, I think they're all at 6s and 7s. They're not sure what to do when they get on the ball. Those quick-fire goals have really unsettled the side.
4 minutes added to the first half. 4 minutes for Leicester to endure. Cody to Thomas. 9 changes for Leicester has somewhat backfired on Steve Cooper. They've been rattling them in. 11 shots to 4 in the first half. 6 of the 11 on target, 4 of them counting as goals. Though Steve Cooper is arguing that one of them shouldn't have done. Here is Justin. Ayew gets in the way, and a soft shot from McAteer.
He knew he had to get it away quickly. It's just a snapshot, because he knew the opportunity was going to disappear rather quickly. Justin's initial touch was poor. McAteer just not enough behind it.
Well, the camera always finds him if he's inside the stadium. Sir Alex Ferguson, who of course is stepping aside from his director's role. I'm just wondering if this is the first appointment that will be made that he hasn't had a hand in, because he's always been one of the directors for the previous appointments. There's a whole team, coach load of management these days at Old Trafford, of course. A big brains trust.
Well, I think that's been the argument, hasn't it, from some of the fans? What all of these people in these positions, what are they actually doing? How are they trying to improve the club? But the way to do it, more importantly, is to get the results on the pitch, and the players are doing their part at the moment.
Double deflection, and Leicester get a goal back through Conor Cody. Another twist in the tail at Old Trafford. That has given Leicester City something to work with. You're saying keep it tight for the next 2 minutes. We'll settle for 2-4 down at half-time.
Well, exactly. The plan is not to concede, but if you can get one back, even better. This ball, I think it just hits Dalot. Nothing about it. Connor Cody in the right place at the right time, and even though he doesn't look it, from a man from Merseyside, I'm sure he'll be quite happy about that.
Every Scouser wants to score against Manchester United. They have looked a little porous when they are attacked, Manchester United. But he's got Sir Alex above him in the director's box. And the adage when he was a player and Sir Alex was the manager was just you just outscore the opposition.
Well, exactly. This is a real throwback, and it's not looked so good lately as in conceding the goals, and didn't look like they've got the firepower to overhaul teams. But you're right, if you can outscore them, and it doesn't matter, and they're looking good for it at the moment, Manchester United, but won't want to take too many chances, that said.
For a little concern that Marcus Rashford has taken a blow to the midriff. I think he just needs time, Mr. Madley.
They're looking good for it at the moment, Manchester United, but won't want to take too many chances, that said.
For a little concern that Marcus Rashford has taken a blow to the midriff. I think he just needs time, Mr. Madley.
Fold him rather quickly, won't it?
Oh, Sir Alex is enjoying the excitement and the entertainment up in the leather-bound seats. Is that Brian Robson behind him as well? Paddy Crerand. Got a bad five-a-side team up there. Coley to Justin. Lindelof looking a little uncomfortable. Lindelof and De Ligt haven't looked the perfect partnership. Well, we have a 6-goal thriller at Old Trafford. The star of the show undoubtedly being Casemiro, who's shown Van Nistelrooy-like skills in front of goal to score a brace. He could have had a hat-trick as well. Fernandes is claiming a goal. It may have been an own goal, but Leicester have had their moments. Connor Cody giving them a lifeline just before half-time. Garnacho as being one of United's diamonds this evening. A lot of verve, a lot of passion, a lot of entertainment at Old Trafford, and 6 goals to boot. Half-time score, Manchester United 4, Leicester City 2.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes Feeling like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah.
Your coffee and tune into morning footy every single weekday at 8 o'clock on the
Heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire.
Welcome along everybody, it's half-time in the Carabao Cup round of 16, it's half-time at Old Trafford as well. We're going to show you some of the best of the action from that game, Manchester United against Leicester. There's been plenty of goals, Grell, hasn't there? 6 in fact, and Ruben Nistelrooy, who's on the touchline for the Red Devils today, will be enjoying this one at the break. How about this from Casemiro to get us going?
It's a rocket swerver, knuckler into the top corner, and look at this, I mean, it just looks...
Straight to the start of intoxicating wine. Linger in touch, these soft words whispered in my neck. Set my heart afire.
Admiration, perseverance, become a legend, care for men, made for men.
Chances towards the end of that first half. Substitutes quite likely to play a big part tonight. So let's just quickly run you through the benches of both sides here tonight and the options available to both Eddie Howe and Enzo Maresca. Players available for Newcastle: Almiron, Harvey Barnes, Dan Burn, out of the Premier League team for Chelsea recently. They've had a really good balance in midfield. Do have some real star talent on their bench: Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Levi Colwill. This is it, Casadai, Ben Chilwell, Connie Chukwuemeka and Mark Guiu. So it'll be interesting to see, won't it, Darren, if any changes are made at half-time, particularly from Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't know if there will be, to be honest. I think a lot of the times when this happens, when you've not really performed in the first half, the manager will just say, look, I'll give you 10-15 minutes, then I'll make changes. And as you said, they've got some fantastic players to bring on, and Newcastle may need to weather the storm for the first 10-15 minutes. If they concede and it goes 2-1, then it's game on. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to start.
How do you think Eddie Howe will send his team out for this second half? Do you think it'll be a case of try and protect what we have, and then maybe more of what we saw in the first half, just try and pinch possession in the right places, but we have a lead to protect, and first of all, let's make sure that's the priority?
I think a bit of both, as you said, just protect your lead. Don't be broken down easily, especially the opening, as I said, 10 to 15 minutes, but then just continue what you're doing. Then it's more than likely going to be game over.
It is now such an opportunity for Newcastle United to get themselves into the last 8 of this competition. As we've said, there will be some big names tumbled tonight.
going has got even worse for Manchester City at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That score is now 2-0 to Tottenham. Brighton struggling against Liverpool as well. So some very good sides, capable teams will be out of this competition, and all it's going to do is just add to the belief, perhaps for Newcastle, who are being watched tonight by one of their legends, Alan Shearer, on commentary duty tonight. He wants it as much as anyone, doesn't he? 1969, the last time that Newcastle got their hands on major silverware.
Yeah, he'll be saying the same thing, probably echoing what I said, that the supporters desperate for a trophy up here. But as you rightly said, Chelsea are as well. Enzo Maresca will be as well. So I expect Chelsea to come out fast in this second half and give it all they have. And then 10, 15, 20 minutes, make some changes. But Newcastle, as I said, have to weather the storm, try and keep it at 2-0. And if they can nick a goal up the other end, then as I said, it's more than likely game over.
Chelsea's players out first for this second half. Axel Disasi with the unfortunate moment when he turned the ball into his own net to make it 2-0, but this is a Chelsea side more than capable of coming up with a response, with a reaction in this second half. Brilliant for Newcastle to have Alexander Isak back amongst the goals in the last couple of games. Brilliant player.
Yeah, of course, one of their star players, if not their star player, and someone that can really take it to the opposition, even when you're
Jorgensen, who had some shaky moments in the first half. He gets the ball back from Enzo Fernandez and he takes a risk. But he backed himself. Good footwork from the goalkeeper as he saw Anthony Gordon chasing him down. Here's Isak. He looks to clip in across, and it has to be dealt with by Tosin. Longstaff taking his time to get up for Newcastle as Mudryk is brought down, but it was another heart-in-mouth moment for Philip Jorgensen.
Yeah, he looked the calmest man on the pitch, didn't he, at the time? It was looked like Anthony Gordon was going to go and just nick it off him. As you said, great footwork. That will fill him with a bit of confidence, actually, because he did struggle in the first half, so he'll be confident with that.
They are effectively an outfield player now, aren't they, these goalkeepers? And he got the ball back from Enzo Fernandez. And you could see the whites of the eyes of Anthony Gordon there as he closed him down, but he dealt with the situation well.
It's a great turn. Great turn.
He was a busy man last year playing for Villarreal in La Liga. He had the busiest hands in the league, made more saves than any other goalkeeper. Here's Vega. And Badia Shield. Into Mudryk. So one or two bright moments from him in the first half. Enzo Fernandez assessing what's ahead of him. He finds Cucurella. He pulls it back. And Nkunku could have brought Chelsea right back into the game. But it was a brilliant piece of defending yet again from Lloyd Kelly. Saw him bail Newcastle out in the first half, and now they're flying forwards here. Really positive surge forward by Willett. Isak peeling towards the back post, takes a touch, and it just takes him initially away from goal. Tonali. Now Hall, he's going to have a go, and he tests Jorgensen. Decent hit that from Lewis Hall.
Yeah, lovely play, both ends of the pitch there. Nothing really come off though. It was good play, and best part of that play was Lloyd Kelly's defending. It was outstanding.
Saw him make that big block in the first half. Lloyd Kelly's not getting too much of a look right now in the Premier League. He might just be playing his way into the thoughts of Eddie Howe with what we've seen from him so far here this evening. Mudryk. Dewsbury Hall been on perhaps the fringes of the game so far. Championship title winner last season with Leicester under Enzo Maresca. Cucurella. Joao Felix works it on to his left foot, trying to turn back in, but it's good defensive work. Now Gordon can look to step away here for Newcastle. Some chances towards the end of that first half. Substitutes quite likely to play a big part tonight, so let's just quickly run you through the benches of both sides here tonight and the option through. Mark Cucurella there. Yellow card comes out from Chris Kavanagh, and a bit of a flashpoint here. Chelsea players not happy at all with that challenge, and it's all threatening to boil over. Joel Linton standing his ground. Who have some real star talent on their bench. Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Levi Colwill, this is it, Kasadai, Ben Chilwell, Connie Chukwuemeka and Mark Guiu. So it'll be interesting to see, won't it, Darren, if any changes are made at half-time, particularly from Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't know if there will be, to be honest. I think a lot of the times when this happens, when you've not really performed in the first half, the manager will just say, look, I'll give you 10-15 minutes, then I'll make changes. And as you said, they've got some fantastic players to bring on, and Newcastle may need to weather the storm for the first 10-15 minutes. If they concede and it goes 2-1, then it's game on. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to start.
How do you think Eddie Howe will send his team out for this second half? Do you think it'll be a case of try and protect what we have, and then maybe more of what we saw in the first half, just try and pinch possession in the right places? But we have a lead to protect, and first of all, let's make sure that's the priority.
I think a bit of both, as you said, just protect your lead. Don't be broken down easily, especially at the opening, as I said, 10-15 minutes. But then just continue what you're doing. Then it's more than likely going to be game over.
And it is now such an opportunity for Newcastle United to get themselves into the last 8 of this competition. As we've said, there will be some big names tumbled tonight. Going has got even worse for Manchester City at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That score is now 2-0 to Tottenham. United struggling against Liverpool as well. So some very good sides, capable teams, will be out of this competition. And all it's going to do is just add to the belief, perhaps for Newcastle, who are being watched tonight by one of their legends, Alan Shearer, on commentary duty tonight. He wants it as much as anyone, doesn't he? 1969, the last time that Newcastle got their hands on major silverware.
Yeah, he'll be saying the same thing, probably echoing what I said, that the supporters desperate for a trophy up here. But as you rightly said,
out of the cross, and Jorgensen able to prevent the call.
I expect Chelsea to come out fast in this second half and give it all they have. and then 10, 15, 20 minutes, make some changes. But Newcastle, as I said, have to weather the storm, try and keep it at 2-0. If they can nick a goal up the other end, then as I said, it's more than likely game over.
Chelsea's players out first for this second half. Axel Disasi with the unfortunate moment when he turned the ball into his own net to make it 2-0, but this is a Chelsea side more than capable of coming up with a response, with a reaction in this second half. Brilliant though for Newcastle to have Alexander Isak back amongst the goals in the last couple of games. Brilliant player.
Yeah, of course, one of their star players, if not their star player, and someone that can really take it to the opposition even when you're
to half the deficit here, pushed into Joao Felix, now Mudryk, Dewsbury Hall, release the ball towards the back post, Cucurella meets it, Tonali just standing in the way there, as Newcastle look to keep Chelsea out, but the threat beginning to build. Enzo Fernandez clips one forward, Nick Pope unconvincingly pushes it away, and Dewsbury Hall's effort charged down by Lewis Hall. And Nick Pope nods it out to prevent the corner and then knocks the ball back towards his goal, and we know that you can't do that anymore. Yellow card for delaying the restart for Nick Pope.
I think he'll be pleased with the yellow card, so take a quick throw in. But yeah, unconvincing, as you said, and it has been unconvincing first 10 minutes of this second half by Newcastle, but that's down to Chelsea taking it to Newcastle. And you see here, if they took the throw in then, they could have been in trouble, so he just took a yellow card for the team.
Yellow card that Nick Pope would have been more than happy to take. It's going to be interesting to see if he features in former Chelsea head coach Thomas Tuchel's plans with England. Jordan Pickford, the long-time number one for England, but maybe, just maybe, the door might open for Nick Pope if he can perform well in the colours of his club. Here's Mudryk, who's getting plenty of touches of the ball in this second half. Tosin, Newcastle happy to have everybody back behind the ball. It's almost the back five right now for Newcastle, with Joelinton filling in deep on this near side. Eddie Howe said after the weekend that Newcastle aren't where they want to be, but they have to deal with the reality. But he said a couple of wins would change the picture very dramatically, and it would be a huge boost for them tonight if they can knock Chelsea out of this competition. Enzo Maresca decides to dip down to his bench for the first time this evening. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall departs the scene, and on comes Noni Madueke, and he gives Newcastle something very different to think about.
Yeah, he does. Quiet game for Dewsbury Hall. He had the opportunity, didn't he, in the opening minute, that he just got wrong. He couldn't quite get into the game, and there's a different challenge now with Madueke coming on.
His first actions will be defensive actions as Lewis Hall picks up possession. Now Willock, Tonali, Well worked by Newcastle, who have got 5 inside the penalty area here, but it's a cross which clears all of them. Chelsea 5 times winners of this competition, but it was 2015 the last time they lifted this trophy. Newcastle beaten finalists on 2 occasions, 1976 a couple of seasons ago when they lost to Manchester United at Wembley. These nights mean so much, don't they? For teams that don't win trophies, we've seen a few sides pick up the first trophy in a long time in recent years, and Newcastle believe that their time will come soon. See teams battling to win a
get the penalty himself, but great play, Noni Madueke.
Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea having plenty of the ball. Clear-cut chances though at a premium. Jorgensen, who had some shaky moments. Mykhailo Mudryk pulls it back to Nkunku, but he backed himself. Difficult for Nick Pope, and as he saw Anthony Gordon chasing him down. Here's Isak. He looks to clip in across, and it has to be dealt with by Tosin.
Great runs. I mean, this is great ball.
Sean Longstaff taking his time to get up for Newcastle as Mudryk is brought down, but it was another heart-in-mouth moment for Philip Jorgensen.
Yeah, he looked the calmest man on the pitch, didn't he, at the time? It was looked like Anthony Gordon was going to go and just nick it off him. As you said, great footwork. That will fill him with a bit of confidence, actually, because he did struggle in the first half, so he'll be confident with that. Does it have to be?
Player now, aren't they, these goalkeepers? And he got the ball back from Enzo Fernandez, and you could see the whites of the eyes of Anthony Gordon there as he closed him down, but he dealt with the situation well.
It's a great turn. Great turn.
He was a busy man last year playing for Villarreal in La Liga. He had the busiest hands in the league, made more saves than any other goalkeeper. Here's Vega. And Badia Shield. Into Mudryk. So 1 or 2 bright moments from him in the first half. Enzo Fernandez assessing what's ahead of him. He finds Cucurella. He pulls it back. Nkunku could have brought Chelsea right back into the game. But it was a brilliant yet.
He's waiting, and 2 come along at once.
like London buses. But this is excellent from Manchester United, and especially Bruno Fernandes, because you see the confidence in him to go round the goalkeeper. Little one round the corner. Yes, there's a bit of fortune there. It's a poor back pass though. And then you're thinking, does he slot it across the keeper? No, the little drag over goes past Ward. Quite happy to play cat and mouse on the line with the defender as well. And as I mentioned, for Manchester United, this is perfect because you say in the changing room, yes, they're going to come out, you're going to soak up the pressure for 10-15 minutes, then you're going to go forward when you get your opportunity. And that's exactly what they've done.
Well, Sir Alex enjoying the entertainment, and you can see sitting alongside him the England cricket great Michael Vaughan. We're close to a cricket score now. The second half has been a game of patience for Manchester United. They were kind of rolling with the Leicester punches, but then came out with a strong finish there. This is Garnacho. Decordova-Reid, soft defending. Rashford. It was a overly zealous challenge, let's put it like that, from Martinez.
Very nearly went from bad to worse for Leicester City. Garnacho should do better with this ball. Across from that left hand side. What does Steve Cooper do? He's not a happy man.
But imagine if he thought there was some life in the game, he would make considerable changes, but he may want to rest players because they've got a big game coming up this weekend. Another journey to Ipswich.
Especially on the back of that beating from Forest as well. There'll need to be a reaction in the
Elite to Dallo. Garnacho. Fernandes. There's Rowe. Better defending. Oh, brilliant. What a first touch that would have been in the game for a man.
Well, it's applauded by the manager, and rightly so. It's acrobatic, it's inventive, it doesn't miss by much, gets kept alive in the box, a little bit of pinball. It's the two substitutes combining, and this will give us a better angle just to show it wasn't far past the post.
As you say, he made his name when he was loaned out to Sunderland. He's got 14 goals for Sunderland. They'd have him back in a heartbeat. Most did well when he was north of the border at Rangers. Still a relatively young man, 22 years of age. Ayew battles his way into the box. Referee saw nothing wrong with that challenge on Ugarte, and look who's back, Casemiro.
Of course he is. He's been absolutely excellent tonight, and Ugarte didn't get up too quickly. I think he's struggling a little bit.
Skip. Oh, nice touch. Needed to be as well. And Simari flew one in.
Wow. I thought this was flying in the top corner and giving us another goal to this game, but it's a fantastic save to push it onto the crossbar.
Oh, Corley. Justin. Lindelof. Manchester United get out of a tight situation well and turn defence into offence very quickly. Garnacho. Fernandez shooters the demand from the supporters. He passes on to Ahmad. The flag stays down. Ahmad with sharp skill. Ward only half stops it. Garnacho can't get there. Fernandez. Garnacho. Hit his own man, Mazraoui.
Well, they're not resting on their laurels, Manchester United. You can certainly see that they want to push for another goal, and that shot from Fernandez was flying. Outside of the foot, strikes it really well. It's just his teammate can't get out of the way.
Well, chances are plenty. 27 shots in the game. United's percentage of finishing those shots off has been good. That is offside against Dalot, which is promising when your right back is the farthest man forward.
I don't mind the idea, but I do think he starts his run just that little bit early.
Too much on the shot, way over the head of Deco Dover-Reid.
Well, let's have another look at this shot from Samare. And more to it, the save from Bindir. Wonderful fingertips flying across the goal, crashes against the crossbar. He's not had too much to do today, but that is a very good save.
Binder is the backup goalkeeper. Only his third appearance for Manchester United, but he is Turkish international. He played at the Euros in the summer. Sadly for him, it was a 3-0 defeat against Portugal. Fernandez, Garnacho. Ugarte.
Too much space, hasn't he, Casemiro? The way that he just keeps popping into the pockets, and whether it's just behind Ayew there or whether it's deeper into between the midfield and the defence, he just always seems to be in space.
Ran into the defender there. Injured his own knee. Referee keeps play flowing. Ayew gets himself into a trouble. How young they are. Now Fernandez. And Ahmad continues the run and tried to sneak on it at the near post.
I don't mind the run. I do think it's the wrong decision. There's Xerxes in the middle there that wants the ball. Obviously he wants to get on the pitch and make an impact, but that angle is so acute to try and score from there.
Well, Leicester City preparing to make changes as well. It's going to be Yannick Vestergaard coming on. He's been out since August with an ankle injury. Okoli is the player that he naturally replaces. Okoli, of course, one of only two who started at the weekend. El Canous has gone off on the score sheet against Manchester United. It's like having a bingo sheet here, getting your numbers. Will Alves comes on for him. McAteer is another one who has played his part. And Navididi will have a Wednesday night stretch of the legs. Also coming on is Alves there. He's quite a young talent. At the other end of the age spectrum. It's going to be Johnny Evans who takes the place of Delete in defence. And he deserves a break, doesn't he? Garnacho, he's put in a tremendous shift. They need to wrap him up in cotton. Well, he banged his knee a couple of minutes ago. And now he scored the second goal for Manchester United, the one that Steve Cooper was a little sore about. They'll keep him fit and fresh for the weekend and Chelsea. And part of easing Rasmus Højlund back into action. Remember, he missed the opening 6 games. He had started for the previous 5, but Ruud van Nistelrooy keen not to overplay Højlund.
This is the perfect scenario really for a forward coming on to get some minutes. There's enough time to get yourself on the score sheet, but as you mentioned, Garnacho has been tremendous.
There's Fernandes. Xerxes. He'll be happy to stay on the field of play. Play alongside Højlund. New look strike force. Gallo. To Ahmad. And again, they have to be careful with their challenges. Squirms away, and Ward hangs on for dear life.
It's a sharp intake of breath, I think, when Ahmad gets that ball and the defender dives in. Can potentially give away a penalty, but pulls out quick enough. Ahmad gets the shot off. See it here. Don't jump in. Does well, Samari, just to pull out quickly enough. Ahmad doesn't quite catch that shot the way you would have liked. Interested to see how Will Alves does that. Big hopes for him. It was under Brendan Rodgers. Next big thing coming out the academy, but had a horrendous ACL injuries. Taken a while to get back, so great for him to be on the pitch.
Bruno Fernandes puts his full might behind that one. Clears everybody. I say Alves only 19 years of age, picked up that nasty injury back in, was it December 2022, made his return against Tranmere Rovers in the League Cup. Being eased back into action.
And it was a long road back, wasn't just a straightforward one, so it's not just physically as well, it's mentally what it takes out of you, so I'll be very happy to have him back on the pitch.
Flag stays down again. You get kind of accustomed, don't you, to thinking, well, we got VAR just in case that happens. Confirmation of the other substitution that we didn't see was Hassan Edouard coming on for Jordan Ayew. Boyland. Skip digging in. Referee takes a long look at that. Be happy Andy managed to steer away from any kind of controversy here tonight. Navidiri by India, ably placed to keep out the lively Will Alves.
It's a bit of a sighter, similar position really to where Amad Diallo's just had a similar type of shot. Wraps his foot round it, it's on target, but was never going to trouble the goalkeeper.
Maybe Steve Cooper thinking ahead to the weekend. This is more like his starting lineup now for the game against Ipswich. Ahmad puts in the cross. Skip is there. There's Buonanotte. Took the place of Deco Devareed. Xerxes.
See that reaction there from Buonanotte, that one of frustration. But Xerxes does really well, that willingness to come back from that centre forward area to win the ball back. I feel quite sorry for him today actually, because it's not falling. It seems to have worked for everyone else from Manchester United, but for Xerxes, despite working so hard, it's not falling for him the way that he would like.
Johnny Evans. Alves. Referee offers Leicester the chance to keep the play flowing, though Justin is down in a pained heap on the ground.
It's interesting that his teammates haven't stopped, but he's back up now.
Thomas. That's the big plus tonight, getting Vestergaard back. Did start the opening 2 in August, but has been out since then, the Denmark international. He would be first choice if fit, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and it's fascinating, Coley, with him being out, that has been that centre-half pairing, but you'd think it would be Fasten and Yannick Vestergaard sooner rather than later if they feel he's fully fit.
Used to be expected, Manchester United dominating the possession. And they seek out a 6th goal as we approach the final 10 minutes. Xerxes. Fernandes. Answers the fans' call to have a shot.
actually opened up for him, so you can't blame him. But at the last minute, Leicester managed to get the block in.
Hoyland. Fernandes. Xerxes, lovely turn. It's the midriff of Justin, just a corner.
The cross wasn't quite there, but the skill to fashion the half a yard was.
Former Feyenoord youth player, and of course a former Feyenoord youth coach, is Ruud van Nistelrooy. You'll know the talents of Joshua Xerxes. Fernandes puts some spin on that, comes out to Ahmad. Fernandes gets a second stab at it. Fernandes is running the show at the moment. Gallo. Ugarte.
Leicester now, they're just on the block, aren't they? Pinned
Casemiro to Fernandes. There's a brilliant ball. Class move.
See the frustration though. I don't mind it, because the fact that they're 5-2 up, Manchester United, and Fernandes is so frustrated with himself, just shows that change in mindset that for so long hasn't been there. Whether it stays like that, we don't know, but they've put themselves in a good position to welcome Chelsea to Old Trafford over the weekend.
Now the senior pros have stood up tonight. The leaders in the changing room, Fernandes and particularly Casemiro, have been the shining lights in the team. Still the likes of Ugarte and Xerxes trying to win over the supporters and their teammates as well. They come in with big reputations, but it's a step up in standards when you come to Old Trafford. Justin.
In the second.
Nabinidi is a little uncertain. Dipped awkwardly just in front of Bayindir.
Yeah, I mean, initially to me, it looked like it was potentially going wide, but Bayindir felt the need. Tell you what though, to be fair, it was curling in towards the post.
Cody stations himself in front of the goal. Vestergaard is at the far post, but it doesn't get past the first base of Manchester United. Ahmad, clever. Casemiro. Hoyland. Abidini. Blocked by Casemiro again. Hoyland. Ahmad, definitely onside. Oh, maybe not. Referee's assistant was much closer.
Straight too soon.
Manchester United always like to see one of the youngsters coming through. This is 18-year-old Ethan Wheatley. He was the 250th Academy graduate. The under-18s Player of the Year last year comes on. He'll flash into the future. He takes the place of Joshua Zirkzee.
As I mentioned, it's not quite fallen for Zirkzee tonight. He's tried so hard. He's endeared himself in that way, but sometimes you just need that little bit of luck to fall your way, especially as a forward, and it's not quite happened for him tonight.
That is another department that the new management will feel they have to work on, bringing players through from the academy, getting that talent flow into the first team that this club has always been famed for. Navididi, lovely 1-2. Leicester looking to make the score appear a little more respectable if they could get a third goal. Alves inside, Navididi. Evans just stood his ground. Wouldn't have been so easy to go diving in there. Casemiro's block, and the corner is prevented.
Johnny Evans, the former Leicester man, does really well there. As you say, it's easy to go charging in there, potentially give away a penalty, but he gets there quickly, but then puts the brakes on just to make sure that he doesn't do anything silly.
Ugarte with a backspin on the ball to Mazraoui. Mazraoui over Hoyland, and it had to be nodded out of play by Luke Thomas.
Good bodies forward there, Manchester United. Hoyland's there. Ahmad was behind as well, backing it up, so Thomas had to make that challenge there.
Ahmad, Lindelof's touch. Fernandes, the heart and soul of this team. Casemiro, measured pass, too much for ask for the exhausted Bruno Fernandes.
Well, you mentioned Casemiro and how busy he's been. Well, Bruno Fernandes been just as busy. As you say, he's the heart and soul of this team, and when he's playing well, he is a fantastic player. When he's happy, when he's confident, and he's looked that tonight.
2 goals to show for it, and the added responsibility of wearing that captain's armband of Manchester United. He's been the captain of a ship that many feel has been sinking, but there is talent there, and certainly 14th place, 7 away from the relegation zone, 7 away from the top 4. Has to be improved upon. Need a coach, maybe need a psychologist, somebody to work on this team, get a collective together.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's the talent, but as you say, they've got to work in one direction together. You mentioned the players that have come in and sometimes fail because obviously the attitude and the culture within the dressing room for whatever reason isn't right. Some of that's down to the players, and obviously a lot of that's down to the manager as well.
Reminder that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won his first game 5-1 when he was the new Manchester United manager back in 2018. Navididi leaves it. Thomas delivers. Vestergaard gets ahead on the ball, but no direction.
See what he thought of that. Isn't happy. Gets up well. The idea is to knock it back across or find the top left-hand corner. Does neither.
Will it be a one-off? Will he get a little run until the new manager comes in? I think Ruud van Nistelrooy, when he gave his pre-match interview, was as uncertain as everybody, not quite knowing exactly what is going on. But he's got a reaction from the players tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't know. I saw at the press conference as well with Amorim. I don't think he's quite sure either. But what you need to do is just do the job in hand. And so far, he's done that very well.
He does have ambitions. He was heavily linked with a move to Burnley in the summer until he came to Manchester United, answering the call of Ten Hag. Let's say he's just happy to serve the club as well. Of course, the headlines are always getting rid of the manager, but the backup staff never quite know where they stand. And when the new boss comes in, he'll want to bring a certain amount of his former team with him as well.
And I think it'll be interesting to see with the new hierarchy as well within the club, whether they're going to sort of director of football and that style where a lot of the staff stay and it's about the manager fitting into that, or whether he'll have a little bit more control. But I'm sure that will come out in the wash. It all remains to be seen so far.
Casemiro. May just be time for a six. Casemiro is dreaming of his hat-trick goal there.
Well, you can't blame him for taking it on, but certainly wouldn't have been what he envisaged, and there's a wry smile from him there, knowing that didn't look good.
Man of the match and goal scorer when United made it to the League Cup final back in 2023. And he's always set himself the highest of standards. He's been the standout performer for a Manchester United team and subs tonight.
Looks fit as well, I think, throughout the season. The time he's not looked fit, he's looked a bit slow off the mark, but today he's looked really sharp and bright.
Well, we don't know how long the rude rain is going to be, but it's put a smile back on the faces of those suffering Manchester United supporters. Shades of the old days, as the players he's inherited showed his goal.
I think you'd call this match finally poised at the moment. City get another goal, you could easily see them winning it. Spurs get it, then it'll be a long way back for the visitors.
Time-wise, there's still a long way to go, so Spurs will look for that extra comfort. Werner, who started them off. Cleared by Roscoe Guardiola.
Well, Brendan Johnson had never got into a position to get the better of his man here. Good covering from Guardiola, that.
Well, Werner's had an impact tonight. He scored their opening goal. He's won this corner. He's going to take this corner. Safely taken.
Werner's hurt himself now, he's been signalling to the bench. And now he's hobbling.
Right. Here's Silva. Lewis Silva. He's got away from Werner. Lewis with the cross. And Werner has gone down now. Put in his best efforts defensively there. But he can go on no more. Well, full-time at Old Trafford, Manchester United under Ruud van Nistelrooy have beaten Leicester by 5 goals to go into the quarter-final. It is full-time now in all of the ties that have taken place. And the results you can see there going along the bottom of your screen. And so we will have the first all-Premier League quarter-final lineup for some 14 years. That draw taking place later. And you'll be able to see that from 10:40 on Sky Sports main event. It's a shame for Timo Werner that it's ended like this after it started so well. But Richarlison is going to come on and take his place.
Yeah, had a few muscle injuries tonight, and that looks like another one for Timo Werner. But Richarlison has got a lot to give, but he can't seem to stay fit.
Brennan Johnson off, Mikey Moore on in the other Spurs change.
Did really well in Europe, Mikey Moore, didn't he? Then it was a difficult one for him at Palace.
Here's Wright, Jacob Wright! That was very nearly a moment to remember for the 19-year-old.
Wasn't it just? The gap was there to find, and he very nearly did it.
Spurs, after their latest reshuffle, still treading a little warily in this game, and Manchester City picking it up again. Back by Silva to Rico Lewis. This is Ake. Now Wright. Gvardiol. From McAtee, here's Kovacic. O'Reilly looks beyond right, it's Nunes again. Flag is up anyway. It's the first time in this second half. Ferguson. Forward by Gray, giving Kulusevski something to fasten onto. Bit of a mix-up initially before Moore takes over, and he went early, maybe too early.
Yeah, he did. He looked up and saw some white shirts. Not comfortable viewing.
Liverpool, Palace, Manchester United, Newcastle and Arsenal all already through tonight. Southampton and Brentford through from last night, but who will join them from this last fourth round tie? Lewis. Well, it doesn't look as though there is going to be any call for Erling Haaland, because the final substitution that Pep Guardiola is going to make is a significant moment in the career of that young man. 18-year-old Jarmai Simpson-Pusey. He'll be 19 next Monday, and he's going to come on here for his senior debut. A player who's been with the club from the age of 8. He captained their FA Youth Cup winning team against Leeds back in May, and he replaces Nathan Ake.
Brilliant. What a night for him. And Pep always does the unexpected. Just when you think they're needing a goal, he stays on the bench.
Yep, Haaland sits this one out. And for the youngster, it's very much a night to remember for him and for his family. Slots in alongside John Stones at a time when City are needing to hold off Spurs from making this lead even more comfortable. Here's Nunez. Guardiola, right. Cleared by Richarlison. More beaten to it by Nunez. Little that Bernardo Silva could do with that. He's all smiles, but there is still work for his team to do. His trusting youth at the end of this match. In fairness, he has always shown this competition plenty of respect. He's won it 4 times. There's young Simpson-Pusey.
Nice bit of action for his first touches.
Silva pulls it back. O'Reilly. Lewis. Still very much one-way traffic at the moment, with City doing all the pressing. Needing to extend Vicario like he hasn't been for much of this evening's contest. Here's Guardiola, and he does drive it into a dangerous area, but Bissouma there to mop things up. So City build again with Nunez.
Figure out the formation City deploying, but what they do know is when they get the ball, there are so many men in support.
They're entrusting the incoming youngster to be there at the back with one other in large parts of this game. Just trying to flood Spurs territory at the moment. Concern really from Pep Guardiola here for Guardiola.
He's going to get the magic sponge out then, Pep.
Simpson Pusa. John Stones. Lewis. Trying to ask a question of that Spurs defence, but it's well beyond the reach of Bernardo Silva. His last win in this competition was against Spurs. They've not got beyond the quarter-finals since their last win in the competition, but at this rate they won't even be getting to the quarter-finals this season. Here's Kovacic. Right.
Feeling this City are so close to creating a really good chance. Many of those in the second half, as much as the ball is there.
Richarlison having nicked it from Silva. Gets past his man. Solanke is offside though.
Simpson Pusa there did well to hold his ground. Knew exactly where Solanke was.
To keep it in, and Wright hits it, and for the throw-in.
Not his finest. A little wild, but if Spurs hold out here, it's not just about going through to the next round. I think it's the morale it'll inject into the squad after that really poor display at Crystal Palace. Help them to go forward in the league with a bit more belief.
The Spurs had won all three previous League Cup meetings of these sides until the last one, the final of 2021. But we are entering a period where Manchester City notoriously come strong. Kulusevski slides it through towards Moore, but Ortega had the edge.
He'd gone early again, he would have been offside.
Here's Richarlison. Bissouma. Davis with the ball across to Moore. Here's Gray.
going, Archie Gray. During a difficult night defensively, but showing good character out there.
The throw in is to Richarlison, and Manchester City could have had the game taken away from them then with a needless error.
Oh my word, he's got to score, hasn't he, Richarlison? He has to. In the end, he's hit it straight at Ortega, and it was a tentative effort, really. I've had a few of these in the second half.
Well, they have cause to regret that, Tottenham. Dominic Solanke has won them a corner for now, but Richarlison is still beating himself up over that. He can't believe he hasn't taken the chance. Corner goes short. Kulusevski goes long with a cross. Bernardo Silva emerges with it, but it's given away again. And again, it's to Richarlison. Richarlison tempting Rico Lewis into the challenge and getting the free kick that comes from it.
Not 100% sure about this one. It's good enough for the ref.
Have the appetite now, Richarlison, to make up for the miss. And this might give him a good opportunity to do that. He's in there along with Solanke. There's Moore now. Looks to find one of them. Goes in low, and Kovacic stuck to his task well, and City look for the break. One back though by Bissouma. Richarlison tried to help out, but gave it away to Gvardiol. Here's Nunez. Simpson Fusion. Right. Away by Dragusin, Bissouma. Anywhere will do really there for Vicario. Stones looking for his younger colleague and finds him. Lewis. Kovacic. Bissouma sticks out a leg and does enough.
Just on the knife edge this match. Feel the tension within the ground.
Well, the
to prove, but he would have learnt a lot.
Here's Gvardiol. Nunes. Simpson Puzzi. And there'll be 6 added minutes as Bernardo Silva cuts it right across and it almost Here's Stones, he's been good for a vital injury time goal in recent times. Got one against Arsenal, winner against Wolves. O'Reilly. Silva. White. Jacob Wright curls one round and O'Reilly was being well guarded by Udogie. Agonising last 4 minutes for Ange Postecoglou as City's youngsters look to bring the kind of spirit that can preserve their place in the competition.
Yeah, Postecoglou talking beforehand about maintaining your principles. Well, first and foremost, it's about attitude, about fight, and they've shown that tonight. They've had to do a lot of chasing, but they've hung on in there. And they've had a good few chances up the other end.
Here's Kovacic galloping into the space. It's Jacob Wright! And the goalkeeper scrabbling across.
there on his own, and he looks quite tired now.
"90 seconds left." Stones. Silva into a dangerous area, but Riley got underneath it and lifts the header over.
Well, they're just like that centre forward tonight, the centre forward that sat on the bench, because how many of these kind of balls have they delivered into the box? Dragic just gets a little nudge on his man to do enough.
Meanwhile, Haaland stays idle when they look for a goal that he's usually the man to provide. Solanke. Forward by Kulusevski.